But I have our next amazing woman that's coming out. She's also someone very special to us here in this space because she is a pillar in making Women Gone Wild become a life. She was actually part of the duo of the Top Talent Publishing with David Fagan, and her name is Isabel Donadio. How are you, darling? So good to see you here. And she was one of the publishers. Her and her husband are the publisher of our book. And so let me introduce you properly. Isabel Donadio is the founder of Talent Support Services, the owner of Top Talent Publishing, and the best-selling author of Finishing is Happiness. 7 ways big idea entrepreneurs can become big business finishers and becoming significant. I love that book because I think you guys actually put me in that book. I was super happy, which is how to invoke sacred words that unlock real power. She's the editor-in-chief of Top Talent Magazine and the winner of the 2019 TWC Most Outstanding Rising Star Awards. She specializes in supporting and promoting expert authors and speakers all over the world. Her experience includes everything from red carpet interviewing, event planning, social media marketing, best-selling campaigns, and public speaking. Isabel has a talent for making her clients look good and allowing them to focus on the things they love the most about their business. Isabel, so good to have you. How are you?
Hello, thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited. It's Rhonda. You look gorgeous.
All right. I think Isabel's Wi-Fi is a little light.
I also heard earlier, so I am super excited.
Okay, awesome. Good to see you, babe. Your Wi-Fi is cutting out pretty badly. Do you have maybe a different router you can jump onto? Because I do this all the time in my house. I jump on the wrong router, and all of a sudden I'm like, sounding like a robot. Let's see if it makes you a little
bit better. Onto. Did you find the name?
Yeah, I do this all the time. Then I'm like, you sound like a crazy underwater robot. But you are gonna love hearing from Isabel, everyone, because she's really doing some amazing work. And Isabel also was part of the book as well. Oh, there you go, Isabel. Everyone said, I just got thumbs up from production. Woo! Isabel is strong and back on. Okay. How are you, darling? Yay! So good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to figure it out. Thank you again, Rhonda. You look gorgeous. Again, just to reiterate, I was hearing Aaron, I was hearing Kendra and Celine, and just amazing talks that they gave. A lot of wonderful golden nuggets. And it just really just brought me back to kind of where I started my own journey. And for you listening, at what point in your life did you realize I needed my life? No matter how great a situation may be, no matter how great a job is, a living situation is, to move and pivot into a different direction and say, this is where I'm meant to be. I didn't really have that, or at least not entirely that. I grew up in an environment where it was very encouraging for you to pursue an education, to get a 9-to-5 job. And that's not really what I wanted. I gave college a shot. I gave it 2 years. And I'm just like, Mom, Dad, this isn't for me. They're like, okay, either get a job or move out. And I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job. They really encouraged me to work at Starbucks, to work at Walmart, to be a greeter, a bag person. Yes. And I understand now where the place that they was coming from was just entirely a place of love, because they themselves had 9-to-5 jobs. My mother is a retired border patrol agent. So having security, having independence, having those life lessons from the get-go was really important to her, that she instilled in me. But for me to really pursue that and to make that my own, I had to leave. I lived in the same household, Rhonda, you're not going to believe this, for 14 years. 14 years I lived in one household, same community, same grocery store, the same friends, and it was all wonderful. But I needed more out of my life. I needed more for myself to really pursue what I wanted to do. And at the time, I didn't really understand what that was. I was a makeup artist. I had people like James Dentley, Allison Larson, who were sitting in my chair, and I would just genuinely ask them questions because I didn't really know who they were at that time. But the advice that they were giving me, the aha moments that they had, really sparked to where I am now. So owner of Talent Sport Services, Top Talent Agency, Top Talent Publishing, hosting the Top Talent JV Mastermind, the Top Talent Publishing, the magazine. All those things stemmed from I need to branch out. Part of my book, Finishing is Happiness, I go over the 4 T's, and I'm going to share them with you right now. So make sure you have your pen and your notebook right in front of you, because I'm about to share them with you. And the 4 T's that you need to truly succeed are talent, training, tools, and team. To have the talent to really be on stage and present is just one major opportunity for you to share who you are and your insights and your insights. The training is truly how you're able to communicate, to share that and make it duplicatable, having different tools and utilizing different techniques. Rhonda, you're utilizing an entire set to make this event possible. I'm using a Zoom screen. I have a light in the background and I have Wi-Fi that's apparently kind of wonky, but I'm using these tools to make the best of the situation because I have the training and the know-how to be able to execute and communicate what I know so you're able to make a true impact in your life. And the last T is team. Like I just said, Rhonda, she has an amazing team behind her right now. I have a team of people who help me with the magazine, with the publishing, but in order for them to have that directions, I need to have the know-how. I need to have the vision and the end goal in sight. Where are you at currently in your business? Is your team truly living up to your full potential so you're able to get the most out of every single day, every single minute, so you can truly get back to what you love to do? I love to hear people's stories, obviously being a publisher and owning a digital magazine, because who we are inside, the parts that we don't really share very much, the vulnerability side of us, it needs to be earned. But when you do earn the right to hear and be privileged enough to hear that story, that's where things truly shift and make a difference. That's where mountains get moved. That's where I need to write my book. This is where I need to finish my products. This is where I need to get this course out there, because you know deep down that this is where you need to step outside of yourself, to not let your fear keep you from being where you know that you should be. This is where the wild women, this is where the wildness and the freedom and the fire inside of you comes out and says, I am here. This is what you need. I have the answer. And sometimes, you just got to beat people's door down. And sometimes you just have to constantly be there and just consistently be in their world. Send them an email, send them a Facebook post, send them a text. Just all these different ways, because you know that where you currently are is not who you're going to be in another 5 years. Even if you don't really know. I didn't. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of that, because that's how I evolved to be where I am now. Rhonda, in the book, you share some very vulnerable things that you had experienced in the workforce that made you shift to where you are now. Your daughter has seen the powerful woman that you have become. And I hope that, my stepdaughter sees this in me as well. Sometimes I'll see her in the corner just listening in, but I hope that someday that she will not be afraid to step into who she is and change the world.
Isabel, I love it. When I hear you speak, it gets inside of my system, right? It gives me goosebumps, because it's like taking that stand for yourself, really, in order to take a stand for others. And that's something that you truly do. And I love your chapter that you wrote in the book. And it's so beautiful, because I was just sharing with everyone, the reason why I know Diana Wentworth is because of David and because of Isabel. We came together. I met David speaking in Dubai together like 5 years ago, and we've always stayed connected. And I said, this book is coming to life. I've got to find the right one. And I reached out to David, and it just blossomed so beautifully, because I'm like, okay, guys, we really need a forward that's a mature woman, someone that has just done, amazing things that can really hold that container. And they're like, well, I have an idea. And then we meet Diana, and now she's, partnering with us. Of course, David and Isabel, Top Talent Publishing, are also publishing the next book. So you'll get to meet them directly, for those of you that are going to be in the next book. Isabel, we already have 10 women in the next book for Wealth. 10. We've got I think probably 60 applications in the last couple days. So we're only taking 25. So we let everyone know, please make sure that you are truly serious about doing this, because we are making it a legacy. And without you, that legacy would not even been started, Isabel. And I want to thank you for that so much and what you bring to this space.
Well, you're welcome. But thank you for, still having the vision and the know-how of seeing the opportunity that was created with just the title Women Gone Wild is now spurred into a manifesto and a summit where people are able to get on this stage and this platform and to share their insight and who they are. And so this was definitely a joint effort, but you have definitely skyrocketed to a whole nother level.
This past year, as we found ourselves closed off from the world and from each other, a book was being written by a small group of wild women. That book inspired the manifesto that gave birth to a movement. Imagine an emotionally charged letter of gratitude from one struggling anonymous woman to another anonymous woman who'd mentored her and awakened the wildness within her without even realizing it. One wild woman awakening another wild woman, inspiring her to believe when she'd almost given up, to let loose her wildness and step into her true power. Being a wild woman means to lead fearless, to love fearless, to live fearless, to be kind, thoughtful, driven, and balanced, to embrace honest wealth, to trust our intuition, to develop true leadership, and to welcome diversity. We are Women Gone Wild. Come be wild with us.